Welcome to the Animal Quiz channel. Let's test your observation skills in 20 challenges. Find the odd one out. Dinosaur version. Are you ready?
All right, let's talk about dinosaurs.
We always see the T-Rex as the king, right? The biggest and baddest predator out there. And yeah, at 12 meters long and 9 tons, it was the largest meat eater. But look at it compared to the plant eaters. The Argentinosaurus, weighing in at a mind-boggling 75 tons, was so tall it could have literally peeked into a 6-story window. Just imagine that for a second. Now, you've probably heard that old joke that all dinosaurs had brains the size of a walnut. And for some, it was true. The massive Stegosaurus had a brain about the size of a lime. But this wasn't the rule. Predators like the T-Rex needed to be smart and fast to hunt. Their brains were significantly larger because a bigger brain meant faster reaction times, and that was the difference between eating and starving. I mean, look at this quote. According to modern biological classification, which takes evolution into account, birds aren't just related to dinosaurs, they are dinosaurs. The small, feathered ones that survived the asteroid evolved into every single bird we see today.
Okay, let's just dive right in. We've all heard the simple answer, right? A giant asteroid hit the Earth. But that's kind of like saying a suspect was at the scene of the crime. It doesn't tell you how the crime was committed. The truth is way more complex and, honestly, way more fascinating. So first, we've got to set the scene. Before this whole catastrophe went down, Earth was a completely different world. It was a planet of giants, absolutely dominated by dinosaurs. To really get what was lost, we have to understand the world they commanded. Now, let's just pause for a second and take in the sheer scale of time here. Dinosaurs were the undisputed rulers of Earth for 165 million years. I mean, that is a massive, massive evolutionary success story. They spread across every corner of the planet, back when it was just one supercontinent, Pangaea. Their sudden, violent end is without a doubt one of the greatest dramas in our planet's history.
All right, so let's meet our prime suspect. On a day that probably started like any other, 66 million years ago, a fiery visitor from space showed up, and it was about to change the course of life on Earth forever.
Let's try to wrap our heads around this. We are talking about a single rock that was 15 kilometers. That's about 9 miles wide. Imagine a city-sized object just hurtling through space, with Earth dead in its sights.
And it wasn't just big. It was unbelievably fast. It hit our atmosphere at 72,000 kilometers per hour. That is so fast, it could cross the entire Atlantic Ocean in about 4 minutes. Just gone. The impact that followed was, well, apocalyptic is the only word for it. It unleashed the energy of 10 million Hiroshima bombs, all detonating in the exact same instant. It's a level of destructive power that's almost impossible for our brains to really comprehend.
And we know exactly where our suspect struck. The crime scene is this massive 200-kilometer-wide crater, and it's buried deep underneath the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. This is the smoking gun. But, and this is a big but, here's the major twist in our case. You see, as powerful as that impact was, the blast itself didn't kill all the dinosaurs. No way. The real killer wasn't the fall, it was the fallout. The true cause of death was something much sneakier, and it spread across the entire globe. So this is the crucial question, right? How could one rock hitting one spot on the planet wipe out these colossal creatures that were scattered all over the world? Well, the answer is in a deadly chain reaction that the impact kicked into high gear. And this, right here, this is the real kicker. The asteroid was catastrophically unlucky. It didn't slam into the deep ocean, where the damage might have been a lot less severe. Nope, it just so happened to strike shallow coastal waters sitting right on top of a massive reserve of oil and sulfur-rich rock. It was literally the worst possible place it could have landed.
Okay, so here's how that whole chain reaction played out. First, the impact instantly vaporized all that oil and sulfur, blasting this dense cloud of soot and debris straight up into the atmosphere. This cloud spread out, and it wrapped the entire globe in a thick, dark blanket. Sunlight was completely blocked, and with no sun, the planet plunged into a deep freeze. Of course, plants, which need sunlight to live, died off. Then the herbivores who ate those plants starved. And then, well, you can see where this is going. The carnivores who ate the herbivores also starved. The entire global food chain just crumbled from the bottom up. A global winter had begun.
Now, like any good detective story, there are some other suspects. Some scientists think the asteroid wasn't a lone killer. They think it might have just been an accomplice that delivered the final blow to a world that was already in big trouble. Two main theories really stand out. First, you've got massive ongoing volcanic eruptions that were already spewing gas into the atmosphere, causing acid rain and messing with the climate. The second idea, which is a bit more controversial, suggests that rising temperatures were affecting dinosaur embryos, causing only males to be born, so the species just couldn't reproduce. In both of these versions, the asteroid was just the final devastating push over the edge. So you might be wondering, how in the world do we know any of this? Well, it's because this cosmic crime left behind clues, hard evidence, etched into the rock and bone of our planet that lets us piece together this incredible story millions and millions of years later. And the single most important piece of physical evidence is the Chicxulub crater itself. This massive impact scar, buried under Mexico, is the geological fingerprint of our prime suspect. Its size, its age, its chemical makeup,
It's a perfect match for the asteroid theory. It proves it was at the scene of the crime.
And then we have statements from the victims, told to us in the form of fossils. These petrified remains are the physical proof of the dinosaurs' existence and their extinction. We found everything from a 90% complete T-Rex skeleton to, get this, the fully petrified body of a nodosaur. We're talking skin, armor, the whole thing. They tell us who lived, and they show us exactly when they vanished from the face of the Earth.
So, what's the final verdict in this 66-million-year-old case? Well, it really wasn't just one thing. The dinosaurs were wiped out by a perfect storm of cosmic bad luck. It was a series of unfortunate events, this cascade of accidents, all triggered by one object hitting the absolute wrong place at the absolute worst time. And that leaves us with one last kind of mind-blowing question to think about. If that asteroid had been just a few minutes later on its journey through space, it would have splashed down harmlessly into the deep Pacific Ocean. The dinosaurs might have survived. So you have to wonder, if that one rock had been just slightly delayed, would we even be here to ask the question?